What's up, Collider TV Talk fans? Josh Macuga here, your first daily TV talk here on Collider Video. We are live every single day, coming straight at you through your computer, TV, smart TV, laptop, iPad, iPad Plus, the iPad Mini, iPad Shuffle, iPod Shuffle. Who knows? We are there every day, 11 a.m. PST, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. England. What, David Griffin, is that what time it would be over in England?
That's a little, I think it's a little bit of a stretch. It could be a little bit less than 9 p.m.
Less than 9 p.m.
Less than 9 p.m.
We got close, we got close. We are here every day live for you guys. This week, joining me, as always, Mr. David Antonio Banderas Griffin.
Thank you, I like that, appreciate it, appreciate it. I'm good, folks. I mean, last time Daily TV Talk almost broke me, so I'm hoping to make it through. It's a little stressful. It's a lot of TV in a week. But we're going to make it.
We're going to do it. And Emma Fyffe.
Yes, I'm here. I agree with you. But this is the thing is, last time it was like trying to cram in all the TV before 8 a.m., but now it's 11 a.m., which is like a nice human hour. So
correct,
I think it's going to go well.
You got Collider Movie Talk. You got Collider TV Talk. We're all live here. It's an incredible day. Now, Sinead de Vries, who is usually here, is not here. She is sick. She had some crazy layover or something, and she's just not feeling great. We do have an amazing announcement, though. So you guys are wondering what daily TV talk is going to look like, how it's going to go, what it's going to be like. Yes, it's going to look exactly like that. Thank you for that perfect graphic. It is spot on.
Actually, the only show we have on Collider now is TV talk
just that.
all day long.
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. So I will be here every day as long as I am in the state of California, in the Los Angeles area. I will be here at Collider Video doing live TV talk. On Tuesdays, I will be joined by David Griffin. On Wednesdays, I will be joined by Emma Fyffe. On Thursdays, it may be a rotating guest of who knows, maybe a Jason Inman, a Clark Wolf, a Perry Nemiroff, a Roxy Stryer. We will figure it out. But Thursdays is our, I'm calling it a freestyle day. And on Friday, we have de Vries style because it would be myself and Sinead de Vries. Now you're wondering, why are you splitting up the crew? Who else is going to be on there? We have an unbelievable addition to the TV Talk team. You guys know her from her trailer reactions here on the channel. She is the most saucy of saucy redheads. Ladies and gentlemen, Grace Hancock. Woo! Now, Grace, on Tuesday through Friday, you will be on every single TV Talk.
I will.
And you will be our host, our quarterback, our moderator. You will be keeping us in check because sometimes the TV Talk crew likes to get a little out of hand.
A little bit.
Yeah.
We've been known to go on a few rants.
Some tangents, some slights. Who knows? But you are going to be here. You love TV.
I do love TV.
You watch a lot of it.
I do.
You've been on TV.
I have.
Very successful actress as well. Yes. The best head of hair here at Collider. F.U. Frank. You know I'm talking about you. I know that you're really excited to be part of the team, and we're really excited to have you.
Thanks.
You were going to add an awesome little gingerness to our already dysfunctional family, and we can't wait to have you. What are you most excited about here on TV Talk?
I am super excited to be joining this party and keeping you guys in shape a little bit and shoot some TV shit with all y'all.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a really good time. I'm really excited to be joining the little family, and I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yes. So Grace's first episode will be tomorrow here again, live every day, 11 a.m. PST. Thank you so much, Grace. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll see you guys soon.
Yay, Grace.
Hey, Grace.
All right. So here's how Daily TV Talk also is going to work as far as length of time goes. Each episode will be about 25 minutes long. But again, all you had before was 1 day of hour. Now you get 2.5 hours of TV talk on a weekly basis. Obviously, Mondays, the entire crew will be here. Myself, David Griffin, Emma Fyffe, hopefully Sinead de Vries on certain days, depending on her schedule. But this crew will always be here on Monday, breaking it down because Sundays are such huge nights of
You know it's a big day. We got Dennis back there, Adam, Perry, Frank, Cobster, and Grace. When Dennis is up front, it's a big day.
When Dennis is here, there's an added
when
stress
the
to
boss
the
is in the
situation.
house, it's a big day. Yeah.
So we're here, but we're going to break it all down for you guys. TV Talk, we know you guys love it. All of you that came up to us at Comic-Con and said TV Talk was your favorite show, I hope you weren't lying because it really made us feel warm inside. So let's get to it. First order of business here. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck got a pilot greenlit at Showtime called City on a Hill. And shockingly, it's about crime in Boston.
No.
Surely
they
you
have
jest, Emma
never
Fyffe.
done that before.
What?
You're kidding me.
Imagine the town mixed with Goodwill Hunting, mixed with The Departed.
And Gone Baby Gone.
Gone Baby Gone.
Yep.
Gone Girl.
Gone Girl, yep.
Girls Gone Wild. No,
No, not that one. Not that one.
Shoot. You're
I
wrong.
mean, we don't know yet. The show hasn't aired, so
Yes.
there could
Josh,
be.
you would
There could
definitely
be.
watch it if it was
Girls
like
Gone
Girls Gone
Wild.
Wild.
Maybe. Yeah. 2002, Josh Macuga would have loved it. Beacon on the Hill. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, quick thoughts. Is this does this seem like just treading water?
No, I mean, I think write what you know. And these guys do
Sure.
Boston very well. Gone Baby Gone was great. Good Will Hunting was fantastic. I mean, these guys know Boston. The town is a great, crime movie. I mean, they're really good at this stuff. So know what you know or write what you know. And the story's cool. So we're doing this whole backstory of from the cops' point of view, like you said, on the town instead of the criminal's point of view. And it's all like race and it's
from
very
John
topical.
Hamm's point of view.
Yeah, from John Hamm's point of view. It's a very topical show. So I think this is a good decision for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you about write what you know, but at the same time, I do think that you fall in, as you were saying, Josh, like sort of treading water of okay, but you've done this before.
Right.
Like, can you do anything else? I agree this is something that they do incredibly well, but I can't say that I'm like, oh man, I'm so excited. I'm like, okay, cool, it'll probably be good.
You know what I think too? For me, I think Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are very, very funny guys.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite performances they've ever put in is in Dogma. And I would love to see them tackle some sort of a Boston comedy.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, listen, I went to college with a few guys from Boston. I met their parents. There are very few people out there that are funnier than people from Boston.
Yeah.
Because their accent is ridiculous. They are very irreverent people. They love very certain things and hate very certain things. It is ripe for a comedy.
I had a friend from Boston who's a stand-up comedian who straight up said, he's like, I'm a stand-up comedian from Boston, which basically just means I am from the city of
Yes,
Boston.
yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
exactly.
So-
And I think they'll have comedy in there because Jeremy Renner and Ben Affleck's chemistry in the town, there's some good humor there. I was laughing when I was watching the town, but they can also do the drama well too.
David, they only got to laugh in the town.
There's some funny moments, there's that one. We don't have enough time. Sorry.
Okay, let's move on. Obviously, Sunday night for the next 4 weeks, and for the previous 2, is going to be dominated by Game of Thrones. It's the only show that I stay off social media until I've watched it. What did you guys think of last night's episode? Listen, I may be very biased in this situation, but
You got kind of quiet there for a
it's
second.
my top 5 favorite Game of Thrones episodes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I
going to say something.
love
Okay.
Interesting.
this
Okay,
episode.
so for me, the high points of this episode, like the parts of it that I really, really loved, like obviously, spoilers.
Yeah.
That
Nice
ending.
work,
Thanks,
Adam.
Adam. Thank you.
That ending.
Spoiler alert is up. It's us.
So for me, that final scene between Olenna and Jamie was like one of the best in the entire series for
It
me
might
thus
be
far.
my favorite
It-
non-death
it was
scene.
so strong,
Unbelievable.
and the scene of Sansa walking around Winterfell just being in charge, there were so many super high points for me in this
Yes.
episode. So I agree with you, this was a very strong episode. I feel like, and this is one of the complaints that I've always had about the show versus the books, not to be that person, but I'm going to be.
Here we go.
I feel like with Euron Greyjoy, they're just doing a Ramsay Bolton 2.0.
He's a little hammy. He's a bit
and
hammy.
he's not that
Yeah.
interesting to
Yeah.
me. In the books, he's supposed to be really crazy, but I see him as a very different character than Ramsay. I don't see him as being as gross as they're making him on the show.
Yeah.
He's a little lewd on the show for me. I'm like, you can do better than this. You can hate him without him being disgusting.
Listen, I was in a fraternity, and a lot of times fraternity guys are made to be villains and bad guys. And
Yeah.
It's Broy McBrowerson.
That's what it feels like.
and it's kind of yeah, he's a bro.
Yeah.
But he's not the kind of bro that you want to have beers with on the weekend. He's the kind of dude oh shit, Euron's here. Our party's going to, the house is going to catch on fire.
Exactly.
And I'm not super excited about it. And you can tell, and Cersei is that reserved sorority girl that's just I'm not hanging out with frat guy Euron. Euron? How do I spell
Euron.
it?
Euron.
How does
There's no H.
George R. R. Martin come in here with these names?
That's why it takes us so long to write the books. The
Euron.
names are tough.
Can't remember any
I mean,
of the
George R. R.
names.
Martin's just a kid from Jersey. It's not easy to write all those
I
names.
swear to God, if I wrote that down, I would just have if I spelled it once the right time, I would just have another document and I would just copy and paste. I was like, Daenerys
You just make
Targaryen.
a spreadsheet of all the names.
yeah.
I think it's kind of a bittersweet episode too, because all the stuff with Bran, which is some of my favorite moments with Bran and Sansa finally coming together. He's changed. I mean, one, he's 6 foot at least. He's huge. I mean, he's laid up in that,
puberty
he's,
hit that
he's
kid pretty
massive.
hard.
He's got a deep voice, but he's kind of like Yoda now. He's beyond everybody. He can see the past, the present, the future. He's like God. He's omnipotent almost. He sees everything.
He's honestly that he's punch drunk, it seems.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and it's sad to even say, but when you have a relative that goes through an Alzheimer's situation or dementia, and they speak in another world, and you're like, are they seeing something?
Well, it's also weird too,
or like
because
when the dog barks at a corner of a room, like there's a ghost there.
Because he brought up the story of Sansa's wedding night when she's about to get raped. I mean, that's like a very horrible night. That your little brother's bringing up. I mean, that's a horror. He's like,
he's not Bran Snark anymore.
No,
Snark?
Bran
Snark. Bran Stark.
Stark.
Yeah, Bran Stark is not Bran Stark anymore.
No,
he's a three-eyed raven.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a brutal. It's just a brutal time for them. I mean, the Stark kids are getting back together, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
No.
Like, there's all this, they've gone through a lot.
I thought, did any of you guys think when the gates were opening and she went running that it was going to be Arya?
I did.
I was gonna start
so
She's on her way.
excited
She's on her
for it
way
to
up
be
there.
Arya.
Yeah.
I mean, Arya's on her way. I was hoping it was going to be Arya also because I just can't wait for the sisters to get back together. And I think it's coming hopefully in the next episode, but I'm really looking forward to that reunion. And I really felt that the confrontation between Dany and Jon Snow was incredibly satisfying.
Yes.
And it was such a strong scene for Sir Davos, who's one of my favorite characters.
I know.
With him, I mean, it just reminded me of why I love Sir Davos so much, because the thing is, when he
was the best part of the panel at Comic-Con.
Oh my God, he was great. And the thing is too, is like when you're first introduced to him in the books, like he's a new POV character, like right at the beginning of the second book, and you're like, who's this guy? And like very quickly I fell in love with him. And I think the show has done such a fantastic job. And Liam Cunningham is so good at portraying that like commoner who's been thrust into this world that he doesn't belong in, but because he is this like common, compassionate, really good man.
Yes.
It just lends itself so well to.
He's seen a lot.
And I think that his compassion and passion for Jon Snow like really helps turn Dany around so that she is able to go, you know what? You're not really doing exactly what I want you to do, but I'm going to help you out because I am not my father.
Right.
I mean, there's things in this episode, and obviously I know we don't have time to break it all down. Of course, we have the wonderful Game of Thrones review.
Thrones talk,
Thrones talk to break all that down. But there's just so many moving pieces. You have a start of a war, a big battle at Castle Rock. You have Cersei's revenge. I mean, there's so many pieces you can just go into great depth on.
And
it's crazy.
What I got from this episode is, one, Daenerys is not great with military tactics.
I don't
She's
think
being
her and Jon have
outsmarted.
chemistry. I mean, she's like all like, I'm destined to rule. I'm born to rule. And Jon's just like, I'm just trying to like save my people. Like that's all I want. I don't need a kingdom. Like I'm good.
It's a different
she's on a
thing,
different
but
level.
I will say there's nothing more satisfying than the greatest character in the history of television, Sir Jorah Mormont, getting cured of grayscale and going to help Dany because here comes Mormont. Dude is gonna light place up. I'm cured now. Give me the big sword. Light it up. Let's go. All right, Game of Thrones, you are kicking ass this season. I think from the entire table, we can collectively say thank you.
Yes.
I'm going to let Emma and David take this Rick and Morty premiere discussion. I am going to watch the show tonight, and we're going to talk. You and I are going to talk about it tomorrow with one Miss Grace Hancock. But why don't you guys break it down? You can put a spoiler up, and you can spoil it for me, but I want you to break it down.
So, Emma, let me take you back to April 1st, 2017,
Yes.
a
Go
few
ahead,
months
David.
ago. A
Go
little
ahead.
history lesson here. I like to go back in history. That was WonderCon.
The theologian, that is David.
So I remember I got back home from WonderCon. I think I had dinner that night, and I went online, and I was on Twitter, and all these people was like, are you guys watching Rick and Morty? Are you watching Rick and Morty? I'm like, what is this? I thought it was an April Fool's.
Yeah.
It happened to be the first episode of Rick and Morty, which they showed again last night, which I rewatched.
Yep.
We also got a bonus, another episode, an hour-long premiere, with the new episode, which is basically Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max, Rick and Morty style.
Which to me, this just really exemplifies for me like what is so great about Rick and Morty as a show, in that it really is a show about people dealing with their issues in an unhealthy way, which is something that happens in real life, because basically you have both Summer and Morty dealing with their parents' divorce, and both of them basically do it by going totally apeshit in this Mad Max universe.
And just killing a bunch of people, just killing everybody, eating biceps. You know, Morty he has like this arm that's somebody else's, but he has a relationship with it because it's somebody else's arm.
Right.
And like that arm is out for revenge.
Well, and that shot too, where you were getting the flashback of like what happened to the arm in its previous life, and you don't see the person, you just see the arm, and it's like a Wolfenstein or like a Kingsfield kind of situation. Like it's like a video game shot of like a first person POV.
Yep.
It was really, really well done. And like I love Summer so much as a character, and I just love that in this episode she was just being like, you saw her become this like total badass. She's the one who's completely on board with everything that her grandpa's doing, and she just worships him and thinks he's the greatest. But I like that at the end of the episode, like she reconciled with her dad, who like she wouldn't even acknowledge his presence when he tried to come say goodbye to her.
Turns into a sitcom at the end, which is cool.
Well, I will say this: I was not original Rick and Morty fan. The first person to actually tell me to watch Rick and Morty is Dennis Zen. He was in this room a few years ago. He was dressed.
Same with me. That's who Dennis got me to watch.
He was
it too.
dressed as Rick for Halloween, and I thought it was hysterical. I didn't even know what it was because I'm not a huge animation guy. But since I started watching Rick and Morty, it opened me up to like a BoJack Horseman and all these kind of shows that are so very, very well done. And Rick and Morty in the same thing, like you said. Yes, it's in a fantastical world, and it's totally absurd, but it has so many fun overtones of a life that is one of the most creative shows that is on TV. Yes,
Definitely.
it's hysterical. Yes, but it's also genius. It shows you what that first season of Community was almost like. It was like, holy, what is this show? It's so crazy and weird and out there. But Dan Harmon is a brain unlike any other. And, I mean, he's basically Rick.
I'm so glad it's back on.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
We'll talk more about it.
I loved it.
David, you and I can talk more about it tomorrow as well. Let's talk Preacher. So obviously tomorrow we're going to get our first ever like day after Preacher review.
Right.
I personally, this is the first time I've cried in Preacher when he said that's my son.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God. Cass couldn't get better, and then he's a dad.
For me, because the past couple episodes I've been like, okay, I love Cass. Cass has been carrying me through this whole season. This was the first episode in a while that I'm like, I'm all in on Preacher again.
Yes.
I loved this episode. The whole concept of being able to like remove your soul from your body and like trade it
the back
for
of your leg.
And I mean, and that scene too, right at the very beginning when like the Japanese company is in there and they're like paying that family that needs to pay their mortgage and they're like extracting the soul from the husband's leg. And then when they go to the other guy's house and they mix up the soul into the pill and the lady with Alzheimer's and dementia eats it and like is cured. That I don't know. For me,
it's such a dog. Not to bring up dogma again, but it's such like a dogmatically interesting thing. And I know from a guy that was in the seminary, what is that? How does this make you?
Well,
feel?
this is not in the Bible that I'm aware of anyway. I don't think you can take 15% of your soul and give to somebody else and cures all. But I don't know. Hey, I don't know. There's a lot of mysteries out there. I don't know. No, I thought it was fascinating. I thought it was really interesting that one, it's like how much can I take, before something's like 15%.
Yeah.
It's like, are there any side effects? Some people are kind of tired, but long term, all the clinical trials, no long-term effects until you die. I wonder what happens with that. But
and
it's crazy.
when he takes 1% from Jesse,
Yes.
and he's like, you'll never even notice. And there's that final shot of like inside Jesse's brain. So there's something crazy about him.
And he's leaving that guy. He couldn't send him to hell.
No.
So he buried him because that guy's not going to die. He's already dead. He buried him in that swamp.
Somebody tweeted me, do you think that he comes
swamp
back?
thing
The
is
swamp
gonna
thing
save
saves him. I was
him,
like, is there a swamp thing in this show? Like you could.
Listen, there
It was Vertigo. It was Vertigo Comics. So Vertigo and Swamp. I mean, they could DC. They could all. Yeah.
Here's what's kind of crazy.
Swamp Thing could show up.
He couldn't blow up that thing with a bomb.
No.
So you got to figure that water pressure isn't going to get in there.
No, he's going to be alive.
He's going to be
not
alive,
gonna
and he's
die,
going to come back.
yeah,
So we
he's-
kind of saw it in the trailer. So
He's definitely
And Graham
coming back.
McTavish was at the Outlander panel, but he was also, of course, at the Preacher panel.
Preacher.
So he was all
There
over
was one
Comic-Con.
really amazing thing in this episode, and it was back to the bomb when he throws the bomb and it doesn't, and the cops just like, whoop, 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 like
He's like,
So good.
Yeah.
I also loved too that it was Tulip that like immediately knew how to just like explain to him how to make this
right,
makeshift
yeah,
bomb.
this and this and this.
Yeah.
So well
and
done.
in the little girl in that first scene in the episode, I was like, dang, smart
got out.
child.
Yeah, she got
There
out.
are two types of actors in this world. Child actors. There's two types of child actors. The ones that you wish were never on a show,
Right.
i.e., like the son in Homeland or
The kid in Once Upon a Time.
Thank you. Yeah, I've never even watched that, but I'm guessing he's there.
Well, he's older now. He's on a motorcycle, remember?
There are so many kids on TV that are terrible. And then there's the kids you're like, those kids are awesome. And that little girl, she's only been in 2 episodes, but incredible.
Yeah,
And
they should put her on Modern Family
The
or
kids in
something.
Ozark
Yeah,
were
kids
awesome
in Ozark
too.
are good, yep.
Okay, Preacher. So again, David and I will break down more Preacher tomorrow. The episode airs tonight on AMC. Let's get to Performer of the Week with Allison Keene from Collider.com. Allison, take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm Collider.com TV editor Allison Keene here with the latest edition of TV Performer of the Week. So I'm going to look past some of the bigger shows on right now and bring your attention to a little show called Queen Sugar, which airs on the OWN network. Yes, that is Oprah's channel. The series was created by and initially directed by and produced by Ava DuVernay, the excellent director of Selma and the upcoming Wrinkle in Time. And the show follows the story of 3 very different siblings who are brought back together to their childhood farm in Louisiana when their father passes away. The show is really soulful and beautifully shot and sometimes admittedly admittedly a little hard to get into at first, but once you get immersed in this world, it's a really great place to be. So my TV performer of the week is Dawn Lynn Gardner, who plays the eldest daughter on the show, Charlie Bordelon West. When the series starts, she's married to an NBA superstar and has this rich, glamorous life in LA, but then her husband is caught up in a prostitution scandal right when she returns to the South with her son, and so her whole world is turned upside down. And while the story does spend a lot of time with her siblings, one of whom is a journalist in New Orleans fighting for racial justice, and another who just got out of jail and is getting his life together, the heart of the story is really with Charlie and her transition from a very controlled, one-percenter kind of life to connecting back with her family and to the land. The series is about halfway through its second season right now and recently got renewed for a third, but so where we are right now is that Charlie is sort of coming to terms with some of her more controlling tendencies and obsession with perfection. But she's also just become the first Black woman to own a mill in Louisiana, so that comes with a lot of stress. Her marriage is breaking apart, her son is going through some tough times, and Gardner is really powerful as this woman who is trying to put forth this facade to the world, but is at the point now where she can't hide anymore. Everyone sees the cracks, everyone knows the problems, and she's having to confront these difficult realities. And Gardner is just really, really excellent in the role as someone who you can get irritated by, but ultimately love because she's so relatable. I know peak TV can be overwhelming, but Queen Sugar is definitely worth checking out as just a great family drama that's really beautifully shot and a story that I'm not seeing told anywhere else on TV right now. So that's it. Dawn Lynn Gardner is my TV performer of the week, and next week I will be out in LA for the TV Critics press tour and might be stopping by the studio, so bye for now and hopefully see y'all soon.
Oh, Allison, thank you so much, guys. If you want to read anything on Collider.com, Allison Keene is your girl to go to. She will actually be in studio next week for an episode of TV Talk. She'll be in town in Los Angeles for the TCAs. So We'll see Allison then. Let's burn some highs and lows. Start with Room 104. Who watched? You said it was terrifying. Now I don't even want to watch.
So it's not terrifying since it's not
it.
like a horror series, but it's like a Twilight Zone, supernatural. Events happen in Room 104. Every episode is going to be a different event. I think we have James Vanderbeek next week. A lot of celebrities are going to be in there. It starts off. You watch. I'm not going to spoil anything. If you watch the first, if you watch the first 14 minutes, you're like, eh. Get to finish. It's only like 26 minutes long. It's cool. It's weird. It's kind of scary at the end. It kind of left me unsettled. Now I'm still a little bit shaken from watching.
So like a Twilight Zone-ish Black Mirror.
Twilight Zone-ish Black Mirror, all in Room 104.
And
Check it out.
Duplass Brothers.
And Duplass Brothers. Check
So
it
a
out.
high.
Yeah, high.
All right, One Day She'll Darken with Patty Jenkins and Chris Pine. This sounds pretty awesome.
It does
Yeah.
sound pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I adored Chris Pine in Wonder Woman.
He was great.
He was fantastic. He was so well cast in that role. I love what Patty Jenkins did with that character, and I'm really excited to see them collaborate
Chris
again.
Pine coming to TV.
Definitely. Thumbs up, big thumbs
Definitely a
up.
high.
Twin Peaks, Emma.
Yeah, so Audrey's back, Sherilyn Fenn, who was the high schooler who had a crush on Dale Cooper in the original series, and she had a rough ending at the end of the original series, and apparently it has taken its toll on her.
Poor
But
Audrey.
still, definitely a high.
And a quick spoiler alert. Thank you, Adam.
Oh, sorry.
Mahershala Ali, he's definitely going to star in True Detective Season 3. We talked about it last week. Listen, this is a high.
Definitely a high.
This is a high. Mahershala Ali, amazing.
Like I said, we need a good script.
Yes.
You can put all the big actors you want, but if the script's not right.
If it's another sex trafficking plot, I'm out.
But
I get it.
I
Yeah.
adore Mahershala Ali,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
so
he's incredible.
I'm hopeful.
He's incredible.
All right, Ozark. Now, we're going to give it a high for right now, but David and I are going to break that thing down tomorrow because that show is a super high.
It's so good. Everybody that's been watching it, I've heard, loves
Oh,
it. So
my God.
yeah, watch
Incredible.
Ozark.
All right, Top of the Lake.
Top of the Lake, China Girl gets U.S. premiere date. It's already premiered, of course, in the UK. The Guardian gave it a raving review. So Elizabeth Moss kills it. But September 10th on the Sundance Channel, you can watch it.
Such a weird
Yeah.
show. I love the first
Yeah.
season of
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
All right. Josh and David cry over Last Chance U. That is 100% correct. Super high for season 2.
Yep.
We're going to break that down again tomorrow.
Yep.
You and I are going to get a full breakdown of Last Chance U. Congratulations to Andrew Freed, one of the producers, a good buddy of mine. But that show is a tearjerker.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, Brian Fuller said he wanted the Star Trek Discovery to be an anthology series, which I really like.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Bounce around
Right.
different timelines. Yeah,
Yeah,
why
I
not?
love
Yeah.
that idea.
And CBS, again, network, they can't see the anthology series. They can't see it. They want to see a 5 to 10 year
That's CBS,
series.
yeah.
The network, they don't want to spend money. They don't want to recast. They don't want to do anything. You guys got to start thinking outside the box.
I'm hopeful.
Yep.
The trailer looks great.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I want it to be good.
Man, because
I really want it to be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Oh, what? Listen, we all want it to be good.
Yeah.
So we have something to talk
I
about.
want it to be worth. I'm paying that extra $7 a month.
Yeah.
It better be good.
Yeah, that's CBS just taking your hard-earned money.
That's
there,
harder.
David.
That's like, yeah.
All right. So, guys, again, we're going to be here every day live. Collider TV Talk is going to be about 25 to 30 minutes long every single day here on Collider Video, which means live, which means you guys get to send your Twitter questions in, hashtag Collider TV Talk. I've picked one here, okay? We're going to end every show with at least one Twitter question, maybe two. This comes from @_Markel. His name is just Chris. He's got a sweet head of hair there, a little hockey hair in your thumbnail. What is a show that you have watched that you hate watched for way too long? What is a show that you hate watched for way too long? That's easy for me. It's called Westworld. I watched.
It's one season. It's not too long.
It was 10 minutes. After the first 10 minutes, I hate watched another 8 hours and 50 minutes, David, or 7 hours and 50 minutes.
I don't get it.
For me, it was Once Upon a Time. I liked the first season, and then it started to go off the rails, and then there was this weird plot with Peter Pan. I didn't
It's a
like
shame
it.
that you weren't in that panel with us in
I
Ballroom
wish I
20,
had
because I
been.
really wish you would have been there. Because David and I were absolutely befuddled by the amount of passion in that crowd.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
The cast and the publicists that work on that show are the nicest people on the
Yeah,
planet.
the
I just
fans
don't
were
like the
they
show.
were happy. but-
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
David, hate watch the show.
I mean, I don't hate watch is a little strong. I would say probably Walking Dead, but the thing is, Walking Dead I watched with hope because I'm such a fan of the comic book series. But as it kept going and going, I just fell out of love with it. So I didn't like hate watch it, but I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not happy watching this. I'm gonna let it go.
Yep.
I don't talk smack about it anymore. I just let it go. It's
There you
gone.
go.
It's out of my life.
All right, it's out of his
It's out of my
life.
life. Yeah, I'm good.
You don't need that
Westworld,
negativity.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
is
that's right,
still
exactly,
in my
yeah.
life. It's haunting my dreams.
Don't watch season 2 then.
I'm
Stay
gonna
away
have
from
to
it.
watch season 2.
Emma and I will watch
I'm
it. You
stoked
stay
for
away.
season 2.
Well, I have to watch it because I'm the host of this show with you guys. And you're going to be talking about it. I'm going to be sitting over here twiddling my non-shooting robot thumbs. Sorry I yelled. Guys, that is it for your Davy? That is
Davy
it for
Crockett.
your daily edition of Collider TV Talk. We are here every single day bringing you the freshest in all things TV. Tune in tomorrow. You're like, oh man, that was so quick. We only got to watch them. Just think about it like this. Tomorrow you get to tune back in, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Me, myself, David Griffin, Grace Hancock will be here. Emma Fyffe will be here on Wednesday. The cast will always be here in your hearts, in your minds, and on your computers. Before we get out of here, David, where can the good people find you on the internet?
@GriffinDE, Twitter and Instagram. Yep. Sorry, I don't know. I always struggle with my. I'm horrible.
It's classic.
I am Emma Fyffe. I can be found all over the internet wherever Emma Fyffes are sold. Thank you so much, everybody on Twitter who responded to my anime question. I'll be posting a poll later today to get some more feedback.
Boom shakalaka. I'm Josh Macuga @Josh Macuga, Twitter and Instagram. Collider TV Talk every day live. The Josh Macuga Show on YouTube. We'll see you guys tomorrow here on Collider Video. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.